Here's something that could cost you money the next time you fly. Starting February 1st, showing up to airport security without proper ID just became expensive. Really expensive. The TSA has quietly rolled out a new enforcement policy that's about to catch millions of travelers completely off guard. And if you find this information valuable, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss critical travel updates that could save you serious money and headaches down the road. Let me explain exactly what's happening and how to protect yourself. The end of free identity verification for nearly 20 years. Forgetting your ID at the airport was inconvenient, but manageable. TSA agents would pull you aside, ask verification questions, run a database check, and eventually clear you to fly. The process was slow and tedious, but here's the key detail: it was completely free. That safety net just disappeared. The TSA has replaced the old manual system with something called Confirm ID, an automated identity verification platform run through Department of Homeland Security databases. Think of it as a self-service background check, except there's nothing self-service about the price tag. If you show up without acceptable identification, you'll now pay $45 on the spot just to verify who you are. No valid ID? Pay the fee. Forgot your wallet? Pay the fee. License expired last month? Pay the fee. And here's where it gets worse. The hidden traps nobody's talking about: when the TSA first proposed this fee, during the planning stages, the cost was set at $18. Without any major announcement or public hearing, that number jumped to $45. That's a 150% increase before the system even launched. But the sticker shock is just the beginning. The real problems run much deeper. First, paying the $45 doesn't guarantee you'll actually board your plane. If the automated system fails to verify your identity through its database checks, and false negatives absolutely do happen, the TSA keeps your money. You paid for the attempt, not the result. There's no supervisor who can override the decision. There's no appeal process. There's no refund window. You're out $45 and potentially out of flight. Second, that fee only covers one leg of your journey. Planning a 2-week vacation? You'll need to pay $45 to fly out, and if you still haven't secured proper identification by the time you return, you're paying another $45 to get back home. For a family of 4 traveling without real IDs, that's potentially $360 in unexpected verification fees. The TSA doesn't call it a penalty, but let's be honest about what this is. It's a financial consequence for not having the right documentation. The payment process is a nightmare. Here's a scenario that's about to play out in airports across America. You're running late, your flight boards in 20 minutes, and you just realized your ID is sitting on your kitchen counter. You reach security, and instead of a quick manual verification, you're directed to a Confirm ID kiosk. Most of these kiosks only accept card payments. Some airports are already transitioning to completely cashless security checkpoints, which means if your card gets declined or doesn't process correctly, you're stuck. And here's the part that sounds almost absurd. You'll need to pull out your phone, navigate to pay.gov, create an account if you don't have one, enter your payment information, and wait for transaction confirmation. All while your departure time ticks closer and the boarding process begins without you. This isn't a streamlined security upgrade. For travelers caught off guard, it's a stress-inducing bureaucratic maze at the worst possible moment. How to completely avoid this fee? There are only 2 bulletproof ways to sidestep the Confirm ID system entirely. The first is obvious. Get a real ID. That's the driver's license or state ID with the gold or black star in the upper corner. If you have one of those, you walk right through security with 0 additional fees or delays. But here's the problem most people aren't prepared for. Many state DMVs are still experiencing appointment backlogs, processing delays, and limited availability. If you're reading this in late January and don't have your real ID yet, you might not get one before your next flight. Which brings us to the second and frankly superior option. Use a US passport. A passport completely bypasses the Confirm ID process. No fee, no deadline concerns, no automated kiosk verification, no 10-day return trip timer. Even a passport card, which costs less than a full passport book, gives you the same security checkpoint benefits for domestic travel. If you want absolute certainty that you'll never encounter this $45 charge, a passport is your best protection. What about digital IDs? You might be thinking, what about the digital IDs in Apple Wallet or my state's mobile app? It's a fair question, and yes, several states have rolled out digital identification options that some TSA checkpoints accept. But here's the critical detail travelers keep missing. Not every checkpoint is equipped to scan digital IDs. Not every airport has updated their systems. And if your phone battery dies, your screen cracks, or the app fails to load your credential at the exact moment you need it, you're getting rerouted to the Confirm ID kiosk. Digital IDs are convenient when they work. They're not a guaranteed replacement for physical documentation. If you choose to use one, always carry a backup physical ID so a technical glitch doesn't cost you $45 and a mandatory 30-minute delay. Why this change is really happening? Let's zoom out for a moment. Confirm ID wasn't created to punish forgetful passengers or generate revenue. The TSA has been very clear about the underlying motivation. The old manual verification system was inconsistent, resource-intensive, and vulnerable to human error. Different airports used different procedures. Different agents asked different questions. Different states accessed different databases. There was no standardized protocol, which created security gaps and operational inefficiencies. Confirm ID establishes a uniform national standard by shifting identity verification into centralized Department of Homeland Security systems. From a security perspective, it absolutely makes sense. From a passenger perspective, it means your documentation mistakes now come with a price tag. This is all part of the broader Real ID transition that's been years in the making. We're moving toward automated, centralized, digital identity verification across all levels of domestic travel. Confirm ID is just one piece of that larger puzzle, and it won't be the last change we see. Don't get caught off guard. Millions of travelers are about to walk into airport security, completely unaware of this new rule. Lines will get longer. Tempers will flare. Flights will be missed. Money will be spent unnecessarily. You don't have to be one of those people. Check your ID right now. Verify it's not expired. Confirm it's Real ID compliant. If it's not, schedule your DMV appointment today or apply for a passport. The few minutes you spend preparing now could save you significant money, stress, and travel disruption in the very near future. And if you found this breakdown helpful, do me a favor, share it with someone you know who's flying soon. The more travelers who understand these new rules before February 1st, the smoother this transition will be for everyone. Safe travels.